Rockford's home for classic rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning. It's Double T, and it's time for Wake and Bake with comedian Jaredog. Jaredog, what's happening today?
I'm stoked. I'm nervous. I need your advice. I need your listeners' support because tonight I will be performing at the Whiskey Stop in East Moline, Illinois. I don't know how far that is from Rockford, but if anybody can get down there and cheer me on, that would be helpful considering the fact that I have not performed live in front of people, stand-up comedy, since September. I have performed live in front of people, but what goes on in my bedroom is none of y'all's business.
Wow, since September. I mean, that's several months. I mean, what's the longest break you've had before this?
This is the longest break I've ever had from performing stand-up comedy since 1995 when I did my very first attempt. I wouldn't even call it stand-up. I would call it an attempt at stand-up at the college talent show.
Wow, man, that's a long time. So, you know, like an athlete or whatever, they take time. I mean, you got to stretch out, you got to practice, you got to prepare. I mean, what have you been doing to get yourself ready for the show?
None of that. You're 100% correct, though, Double T. It is a lot like being an athlete. I've been booked in the headliner spot tonight, which means 60 minutes. That's like, you know, jumping straight into the starting lineup with no practice, with no warm-up, with no talking to the coach about what the plays are going to be. You're just trying to invent the plays on your own. And by the way, the other team has 9 players. You're just on your own.
So now this 60-minute set, are you going to bring back some old stuff? Is this all new stuff? I mean, a mixture of both? How are you going to run this show tonight?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting because there's a lot of new stuff ready to go. Of course, it's very difficult to judge what is going to work in front of a room full of alcoholics when 100% of the comedy that I have written has been with the premise of delivering it to one guy over the telephone on a weekly basis.
Maybe you should just play repeats of Wake and Bake for him, and then you'll be good to go.
I'm playing repeats of Wake and Bake on my way down to the gig to get an idea of, you know, some of the new stuff, get it planted into my head. It's going to be fun, though, because I can say things live in a room full of people that are expecting rated R comedy that I can't necessarily branch out and do when I'm, you know, on a radio show. We got to keep it clean-ish. So if nothing else, Double T, if the joke's not working that I would have done on Wake and Bake, I just throw in a few F-bombs and guess what? It's funny.
Now, I have a concern a little bit more than, you know, you being out of practice, performing in front of people. I've been to your comedy shows. I don't know if you're prepared to take on the alcohol that you normally do and drink like you normally do in a show.
That is an excellent point. I don't know that I'm prepared to do that either. It used to be 7 Jaeger bombs, and that was before I went on stage. And now 2 beers, I'm under the table.
This is not going to be pretty.
That's my biggest fear about going full tilt back into the Jaredog Comedy Roadshow. When I first started in stand-up, I was young. I was 19 years old. I could handle drinking every night of the week. I already was, and doing stand-up comedy was just a way to get paid for it. But I kept up with it. That's the physical wear and tear on you. If you're going to be in the Jaredog Comedy Tour, is the consumption of booze when you're trying to be the life of the party. If you get on stage and like, oh, I'm not drinking tonight, you think those 300 bikers are going to stick around and watch the rest of your set? They're walking out. After taking a year and a half off of that lifestyle and now being 46 years old and not 19, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it, man. I'm going to be laying on the bathtub floor praying to gods that I've never even heard of before. The place is called the Whiskey Stop, by the way. I don't even know if I'm getting out of there alive. It ain't for the money. Let me tell you that much.
If this was a regular Jaredog stop on a Jaredog tour, you would have these shots and drinks lined up for you even before you got on stage. That's a good thing. These people don't realize, or a lot of them probably don't realize, what your past shows were like. So maybe they won't be hitting you hard with the shots and stuff.
That's an excellent point, Double T, especially because they didn't even do the promotion right. It doesn't say Jared Dog on the posters. It says Jeremy Danley.
Nobody's going to go see a guy named Jeremy Danley. Come on.
No, and I'm starting to rethink this whole launching of my comedy career. Maybe Jared Dog can just be a thing that's on Wake and Bake with Double T. But maybe if I'm performing live, I should start promoting myself as Jeremy Seinfeld.
That might work. I don't know. Something about that name. I don't know. It just sounds familiar.
It really does. And Double T, I do have an Uncle Jerry.
Are there other shows lined up, or is this kind of like a standalone show?
I do have one more lined up, so I can't wait to tell you how this one goes tonight. I'll report back next week on Wake and Bake. And then next Saturday, I have another headline set scheduled in Burlington, Iowa.
Good thing that you have them spaced apart, so you have plenty of time to recover. In Iowa, come on, man, that's your stomping grounds. You'll be good to go there.
I feel like that's the case, and I was also, one of the things that I learned from my start in stand-up comedy way back in the mid-'90s is you always have to book 2 shows, because if the first one sucks and you tank, you've got to be able to have that rebound opportunity. Or the reverse could be true, and I'm going to crush it tonight and then suck on Saturday and then hate myself for the entire month of August.
But here's the deal. If you go 1 for 2 in good shows, I mean, that's 500. If you're a baseball player, that's getting you to the Hall of Fame, man.
That's Hall of Fame, baby. The downside is, however, Double T, is I do have money riding on my sets. I am gambling on my comedy.
Wait, what? You could gamble on your... How do you do that?
I'm betting $200 tonight, plus free beer, that I'll be funny.
It's Wake and Bake with comedian Jared Dog. Jared Dog, besides this big show tonight, tell everybody where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
Hey, man, I guess just look for Jeremy Seinfeld on Facebook.
I can't wait to become friends with Jeremy Seinfeld. Hopefully you'll call into my show eventually. It's Wake and Bake with comedian Jared Dog on Rockford's home for classic rock 96.7 The Eagle.